Keep on complaining again, and you love to blame it all on my friends. And Shawty got me going crazy. Lately, all she do is test me. Not liking the way that you move. It's the thing that you...
Hey guys, long time no see. So today I'm gonna be doing another top 10 Netflix suggestions, and of course, as soon as I start recording, the sun wants to go down. Literally, like, as soon as I start recording, it just goes whoop, behind the clouds. Anyway, so yeah, today I'm gonna be doing the top 10 Netflix suggestions over again because literally everybody was talking mad junk about my original ones. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna redo it. And I took some suggestions from you guys and I'm gonna put them in since everybody has something to say. But yeah, so I'm gonna do like a part 2 to that original one. So the first one that I have on my list is Grey's Anatomy. That's always going to be on the list. Grey's Anatomy will always be on the list. So Grey's Anatomy is, you know, basically like a medical drama kind of thing. It has their issues with surgeries and the drama with their patients, but also their own personal problems and like their own personal relationships. It's like a hot mess. I did recently, because they just came out with another season. There are 17 seasons, so if you want to binge watch something, that is a good one to binge watch because you'll be sitting there for months, like seriously months. But I recently saw something where the creator Shonda Rhimes, she said something about how like this series is not ending until the main character Ellen, they're not ending this series until she wants to end it. Like, it's up to her whenever she wants to just be like, all right, no, I'm done. Like, it's up to her. So like they're not ending it anytime soon. So listen, catch up. Like, this show really just be like pulling my heartstrings. Like, this one, you know, you're watching these doctors who are interns grow into surgeons, and you know, you kind of like grow up with them and see how they just live out their lives. And it's just been such a crazy roller coaster. Like I said, it's 17 seasons. Like, you know, there's a roller coaster. Like, you know, like, if you haven't seen Grey's Anatomy or heard of Grey's Anatomy, like, come on. Like, I understand if you didn't give it a chance, but I'm telling you, you need to give it a chance. Like, seriously. So going from Grey's Anatomy, I'm gonna go to Scandal. Scandal is also by Shonda Rhimes. So if you love you some Grey's Anatomy, go watch Scandal, because Scandal, I've never watched it, but I've seen, like, you know, previews and people always talking about it, and that's on my next, like, I'm watching that next after I finish this the rest of Grey's Anatomy. I'm watching Scandal. Like, what? So what I know from Scandal is Olivia Pope. Everybody loves Olivia Pope. I don't know, but everybody loves Olivia Pope. I think she's a lawyer or something along those lines. I know that she fixes, like, you know, problems like scandals. It is scandals. But yeah, from my point of view, I've heard everybody like rave about this show. Like, this is some people's like favorite show ever. So that's what I'm gonna be watching next, and I recommend it for you guys because that's all I hear about. I don't know too much about it, but we could figure this out together. We could figure it out together. So then, going from Scandal, I'm gonna mention How to Get Away with Murder. So this show I actually have seen. This show, they did like a crossover with Scandal. Like, one episode they did a crossover and Olivia was in it, and like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool because I don't watch Scandal, but it made me want to watch Scandal. How to Get Away with Murder is basically a bunch of law students. You know, they're freshly new, like, you know, they're just getting into everything, and their professor is Annalise Keating. So Annalise is the professor. This show is like messy. Like, I don't know. Basically, so to describe Annalise Keating, she's like this really intelligent woman, but she's also like seductive, and that right there is just messy. Like, just her being seductive, like, God. But she calls her class How to Get Away with Murder. She calls her course How to Get Away with Murder. She selects a group of students to assist her in like some of her cases, but she also, you know, has her own 2 employees that she has. So it's a group of students and then her employees helping her with her cases. Let's just say things get a little messy. I've been saying that, but like, yeah, definitely they get messy. There's just like some things that just test literally all of their limits and their patience and everything. Like, slowly but surely, like, they all start going crazy. Some faster than others, some sooner than others, but yeah, it was a really good show. I cried at the end, like the very last episode. I definitely cried, definitely. So then the next show I'm going to talk about is Gossip Girl. My friend Shakai, he highly recommended this show, so Shakai, I got you. I've never watched Gossip Girl, but I do know that it's about, well, okay, low-key I looked it up. So I've never watched Gossip Girl, but I did look it up, and I think it's about some like high school graduates. Like, they literally just got out of high school, and you know, some are going off to college, some are focusing on like their careers and like stuff like that. But there's this gossip girl who is like stirring up the pot, making things messy, you know, spilling all the tea, scandals, all that stuff, and it's just causing mad drama. But like, nobody knows who this gossip girl is, so like, people are just like, who is doing this? Like, what the heck? It sounds interesting. I might actually watch this, like, you know, after everything else I gotta watch. So yeah, shout out to Shakai, because he put me onto this one. I wasn't really interested until he really brought it up to me, so I'm recommending it to you guys. And Gossip Girl has 6 seasons in it. So next is Lucifer. Oh my gosh, love this show. I think I mentioned this in my last top 10 Netflix recommendations about Lucifer. This show, I think this might be a Netflix original. Fire, so fire. I love this show. Basically, it's about how the devil left hell. He just left. He was like, I don't want to do this no more, peace out, like, I'm good with y'all, have fun. And he moved. He dead moved. He literally moved to Los Angeles. He left hell to move to Los Angeles. Okay. And while he's there, you know, he owns this nightclub. It's popping, everybody loves it. But at one point he meets this detective, and you know, he starts following her around, like doing cases with her. So it's like the devil solving cases in Los Angeles. What? And basically, like, he just falls for this detective, and she doesn't know that he's the devil. And girl, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm saying girl, but like, girl, boy, whoever watching, like, it's such a good show. I keep saying it's such a good show, it's such a good show. No, like, this show, top 10, top 5. I keep saying that they're all like top 10, but this is really top 5. The way it kind of like left off got me upset. You know, it has 5 seasons in it, but like, there's still a season to come. But I'm just like, I don't want to wait. Like, I gotta wait mad long. I don't even know when it's coming out, but I have to wait mad long. And I'm just like, well, what do I do with myself now? Like, when I was over, I was like, well, what do I do with myself now? You know, I didn't even want to watch Netflix after. Like, I don't know. Like, so then the next show is The 100. I have not watched this show either. This was recommended to me by one of my friends. Hi, Chris. This was recommended by Chris. Beats by Chris on YouTube. Just saying, if y'all want to go see that. But The 100, I looked it up, kind of got an idea. It is about how like the earth was destroyed, and you know, there was only like a few people that survived, but that was because they were in space, and then they have to like, it's like 3 generations that like are survived like up there in space or whatever. And so they're kind of like tired of living there, so they're going to test how Earth is, its habitat. I think that's what it's about. It sounds interesting. Like, if that's really what it's about, it sounds interesting. Don't really know. If I'm wrong, like, don't judge me. I kind of just like read it and watched half the trailer. So just let me know in the comments what it's actually about. It put me on so I could get even more interested, but that's kind of what I got. So yeah, that's the 100. And then the next show is Outer Banks. I think this is a Netflix original. It's about this boy. His name is John B, and he's like so dead set on determining like what happened with his dad. Like, his dad disappeared. I think they were on a boat and he just disappeared. And within his like trip, because he takes his friends along with him, and within his trip he discovers like this treasure, and it's a really good show. I am waiting for season 2 because this is all in one season. Like, his dad went missing. He is dealing with like drugs and love and like all this extra stuff, and like he's one of like the poor people, so he has to deal with the rich people, like the bullies and all that stuff, and being judged because he's poor and stuff like that. So he has to deal with all of that, and then he's going to find his father, and he ends up finding this treasure, and it gets stolen. It's just, yeah, it's a whole it's really good show. And the ending, he tries, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but like he tries to escape, and it's like this whole dramatic, like I think I'd be a bad dramatic about it, but like it's like I feel like you have to really watch it. Like, okay, so I like this show, but it also has like this the Outsiders, if y'all know what I'm talking about, like the Outsiders kind of feel to it. And it's probably just because of what like John B is always wearing. He's always wearing like a flannel or like really baggy like ripped jeans. Like, he's supposed to be like the poor kid, you know, with a missing dad, and just, yeah. So I don't know, I just get that outsider vibes from watching it. So the next show is Jane the Virgin. I have never watched this show either, but it was also recommended. It's about this, you know, girl. She's 23, and she pretty much like doesn't want to make the same mistakes that her mother did, and she doesn't want to have a kid like so early, and she wants to wait until marriage. She has a husband that, you know, respects her wishes and all that stuff. But what had happened was she went to the doctor, and basically, like, I guess she was inseminated by a specimen that was supposed to be for the person in the next room, and come to find out it was the sperm from her boss. So she's supposed to be, you know, this virgin until marriage, you know, all that, but ends up getting pregnant by accident because the doctors messed up. What? I didn't know what the show was about until right now, and I'm interested to see what it's all about. Because I would be like, what? I would be like furious. Like, I would sue. I would have to just sue at that point. Like, how y'all mess up that bad? How did y'all mess up that bad? Anyway, the next show is Big Mouth. This is like an animated, I think, Netflix original. It's pretty much about how these little kids are hitting puberty, and this show is so inappropriate. It's so inappropriate, but it's so funny. It's such a good show. I used to just watch it like when I was falling asleep or whatever, but I actually got invested in it, so it kind of reminds me of like Family Guy and stuff like that, but it's like little kids, like, you know, hitting puberty, and they have like the puberty monster, whatever he's called, and influencing them to do like bad stuff. It's funny. Then the next one I'm going to talk about is the Vampire Diaries. Okay, I know for a fact I mentioned this in my last top 10 Netflix suggestions, but that's because fire. I don't care what y'all gotta say about it. Like, y'all can like, I don't care. Like, that is my show. Every season, every episode, like, I love everything about it. If y'all don't know what the Vampire Diaries is, it's about these vampires and this human girl, And this sounds kind of like I'm talking about Twilight. I love Twilight too. But anyway, it's about these two brothers that come to Mystic Falls, and they end up both falling in love with this human girl, and obviously that doesn't go well because it's two brothers falling in love with a human, the same human. So do the math, like figure it out. But there are 8 seasons, and it goes into a spin-off, and the spin-off is called The Originals. The Originals is about the original vampires. They are also in the Vampire Diaries, but they get their own spin-off. So they have that, and then they also have a spin-off of that, of the Originals, called Legacies. And Legacies is about one of the daughters of the Originals, if that makes sense. So the Vampire Diaries is the main thing, then it's the Originals, then it's Legacies. So I watched all of this. I watched the Vampire Diaries twice, I watched the Originals twice, and Legacies I only watched once. But like, love it. If I watched these twice, if I watched the Originals twice and the Vampire Diaries twice, are you kidding me? It has to be great. Like, it has to be good. It's like, I'm not just sitting around watching stuff twice for no reason. Like, this stuff is good. It's really good. Oh my god, I almost forgot. I don't know how I almost forgot about this show, but Money Heist. Money Heist, watch it. Watch Money Heist. Watch Money Heist. Okay, Money Heist is about, I can't, like, I love this. I love this. It's only 2 seasons, and I'm geeked over like 2 seasons. Okay, so mind you, this show was like originally like a Spanish show, so it was like in Spain, and then it did so good that America like was just like, oh my god, and it just blew up on Netflix. But I only found out about this maybe like 2-3 months ago. But like, oh my gosh. So there is this like criminal mastermind. He goes by the Professor, and he gathers up all these, you know, criminals from wherever. Like, his goal was to pull off like the biggest money heist. Like, he wanted to pull off the biggest heist in history, and he wanted to do that. He wanted to print like a bunch of bills from the Royal Mint, and like a bunch of euros, I guess, that's bills. And he wanted to print like billions of them. So like, he got the help of these 8 people, and his rules were basically like we're not gonna go by each other's names, we're not gonna get like into any like serious relationships, like we're about business, that's all it is. So because of that, like, they didn't know each other's names, so they went by cities. There's Tokyo, there's Rio, there's Moscow, it's oh my gosh, I love this show. So they get into the Royal Mint, and jeez, I love this show. Like, I don't want to like spoil anything, but they take hostages, and they do their thing. Like, they doing it. They just doing their thing, you know. That one is probably like #1 that I recommend to watch, because if it blew up in Spain and then it blew up in America, what do you like? Do you not think that that's a good show? Like, come on now, come on now, come on now. And that's just the first season. Just the Royal Mint and them, you know, taking over the Royal Mint and having all these hostages and all that. That is just the first season. All of like them meeting, them doing the heist, that's 1 season. So imagine what the second season is. Imagine what the second season is. That season, wow. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, Money Heist is probably the #1. I saved it best for last. So yeah, highly recommend that one. If you think this video was better than the other one, let me know below. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, so that's all for today. My Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter will be in the description box below. Let me know some other things that I should do, if I should make another top 10, if I should make a 50. Netflix suggestions, just let me know. Put me onto some stuff, put me onto some shows, because I'm gonna be done watching shows after a while and I'm gonna be sitting here like, what do I do next? Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
I'm the type that wanna show it when it's perfect. I wasted almost 10 years, was it worth it? Sat back, made hella tracks, but I never put them out, so now it's time to face facts.